I see really what is the potential for healing of the deep wounds. You know, they say that music is the language that unites the world. I would say also trauma is what also brings people together. Because
and drives them apart.
And drives them apart.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
So...
Trauma brings people together.
Yes, in trauma bonds.
Trauma bonds, but also in the realization that we have shared this difficult experience. It's in a way maybe like an initiation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you would put it in a very simple way, what is a trauma?
Broken connection to self, to others, and to the environmental matrix, and probably something greater.
But also to be overwhelmed by feelings of terror and helplessness,
Yeah.
and how we recover our footing, our grounding after these experiences. This for me is also central, maybe the most central. Broadly, some dreams are personal, sort of, and others are universal.
And collective.
And collective.
And tribal.
And tribal. And collective. And we are exposed to all of those. And in a way, it's not as important what the source was, but the effect it has on us and our capacity to be present, to be in the here and now, and to be able to connect with other people towards building a better society, a more resilient society, a more equitable society, a more democratic society, a society not based on fear. And we see this in many places. You know, of course, you saw that in the 30s in Germany, and now in the US we see a very similar kind of thing where fear is used to manipulate and to control.
And oppress.
Yeah, and we hope our work actually gives people more strength and resilience so they're not exposed to those kind of things as much.
So you were both born during the war?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yes.
In America? And
with the air raids and...
Yeah.
So you are children of war?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And
my first memory was I was in a crib at nap time, but I could speak. So I was around a year old, and I was looking out the window, and there was a bomber plane buzzing the farmhouse where my mother was with my grandfather, because my father was overseas. And I asked her what the plane was doing, flying around the house, and she said, that's your Uncle Bill, and he's a bomber pilot, and he's saying goodbye because he's on his way to the war. That's my first memory.
Wow.
My father, he went over and to find some of the relatives in Budapest. And he saw some SS troopers starting to beat up on a Jewish man and break the windows of his store. And my father started to run out to stop it. And thank goodness his relative said, "Don't do this, they'll kill you."
They would.
Of course they would. But I had an image of my father as being passive. But this helped turn that around. I had a very different picture after that.
And he made the right choice, or you wouldn't be here.
And yes, indeed. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
is your background, do you think that's the basis for your work?
Absolutely.
it's certainly a big factor.
I have no doubt.
Yeah.